Hello friends, I welcome you all to the class of English compulsory second year. We have been dealing with the second poem entitled Courage, written by Anne Sexton. In the previous class, we dealt with the background of the poet Anne Sexton, and we dealt with outline gist of the poem Courage. Anne Sexton is American poet. She faced ups and downs in her life, and finally she had to commit suicide out of depression, pains and sufferings. She married and she had two children, and she was one of the most celebrated poets of United States of America. Today we are going to deal with the textual explanation of this poem. To proceed ahead with the discussion of the text, I would like to make you familiar with the gist of the text. The poem Courage appears in Anne Sexton's 8th and the last collection of original poems, The Youthful Roving Toward God. It was published in 1975, and this poem appears at 7th number in this collection of poems. This poem was published posthumously as Anne Sexton committed suicide in 1974, and this collection, The Youthful Rowing Toward God, was published in 1975. Like many poems in the collection, Courage universalizes the speaker's experiences. The poem drives through the child's first step, riding a bike for the first time, the first spanking, being bullied, young adulthood, experiencing a war, witnessing a friend's death, facing death, showing the resilience of the human spirit, and emphasizing a human being's power to endure the most difficult circumstances in life. The poem goes over the unconventional definition of courage that is shown by everyone throughout his or her life journey. So, dear students, let us proceed ahead with the textual explanation of the poem. This poem has 4 stanzas. Let us deal with their textual explanation one by one. This is stanza number 1. It is in the small things we see it. The child's first step, as awesome as an earthquake. The first time you rode a bike, wallowing up the sidewalk. The first spanking when your heart went on a journey all alone. When they called you cry baby, or poor or fatty or crazy, and made you into an alien, you drank their acid and concealed it. So this stanza has some difficult words. The very first one is awesome. Awesome means very impressive. Wallowing means tumbling. Sidewalk means footpath. Spanking means slap on the bottom as a part of punishment. Crybaby means a person who always wails, who always cries. Fatty means fat person. Crazy, stupid, foolish. Alien, scheduled. Acid means abuses of the people. Concealed means hiding or hiding something. In this first stanza of the poem, the poet describes courage in the childhood phase of human life. The poem Courage states different ways where an individual can show courage. According to the poet, courage is displayed in everyday life events. The poem is divided into 4 sections or 4 stanzas. Each section signifies a different phase in an individual's life. The first section stands for the childhood phase. The second section stands for adulthood. The third section of the poem stands for middle age, and the last section of the poem denotes to the old age. The poet gives examples in each life phase of how an individual needs to show courage. With the use of imagery, the poet portrays a rich picture in this poem. The poem becomes confessional due to the use of personal pronouns such as we, you, etc. This is the first stanza of the poem. It is in the small things we see it, the child's first step, and awesome as an earthquake. These lines speaks about the first step of the child, and it is the first step of the child is compared with earthquake, and it is very impressive activity in the life of the child when it takes first step. The first time he rode a bike, wallowing up the sidewalk. When the child sits or rides a bike for the first time, it stumbles this side and that side. The first spanking when you heard when went on a journey all alone. When the child continues journey, it is like a punishment. When they called you crybaby or poor or fat or crazy and made you into an alien, you drank their acid and concealed it. The child does not care about others' criticism or others' praise. The child continues journey, and the poetess has described the essence of courage in early phase of human life, that is childhood. In the first stanza of the poem, the poet describes courage in the childhood phase of human life. At the very outset of the poem, the poet lays down the theme of the poem. The line, "It is in the small things we see it." Sexton conveys a message that it is in the small things of everyday life one needs courage. In the second line, she compared child's first step with an earthquake only to show how a child's first step can change the world of the child. Then she uses a universal example of learning to ride a bike, stumbling up the sidewalk that needs courage. Sexton points out that courage is not to show bravery always or to do something special, but to accept difficult situations in life. In the last 5 lines of the stanza, Sexton declares that people have all been oppressed in some way in their lives, perhaps for being poor, not good looking, being fat, or acting strangely. When some bully at school calls the child crybaby, fatty, or crazy, the child feels lonely. But the child shows courage again and conceals the hurt which the child has got out of bullying of others. Sexton used here the word their acid for the horrible words of the oppressor. Let us come down to the second stanza of the poem. Later, if you faced the death of bombs and bullets, you did not do it with a banner. You did it with only a hat to cover your hurt. You did not fondle the weakness inside you. though it was there. Your courage was a small coal that you kept swallowing. If your buddy saved you and died himself in so doing, then his courage was not courage. It was love, love as simple as shaving soap. So, this stanza of the poem speaks about adult age, or it speaks about young age, or second phase of human life. The second section, or this second stanza of the poem, speaks about adulthood. In the second stanza, Sexton swings the reader from childhood to adulthood with the use of a single word, latter. The word latter is used by the poet to shift the readers from the childhood of a child to the adult age. Here the poet shows how the soldier's courage is displayed against bombs and bullets. When the child grows as a soldier, he has to face bullets and bombs, and to face the bullets and bombs, courage is essential, courage is necessary. There was no flag, only a hat to cover the soldier's hurt. The soldier does not nurse his weakness but keeps courage, like fairy coal, burning within him. You did not fondle the weakness inside you, though it was there. Your courage was a small coal that you keep swallowing. If your buddy saved you and died himself in so doing, then his courage was not courage, it was love, as simple as saving soap. There was no flag, only a hat to cover soldier's hurt. The soldier does not nurse his weakness but keeps courage, like fiery coal, burning within him. Sexton talks about a different form of courage, that is love. In the last four lines of the second stanza, here the poet says that the act of saving a fellow soldier's life is not the act of bravery, but it is the act of love and affection for him. If your buddy saved you and died himself in so doing, if your fellow soldier has saved your life, and in the act of saving your life, if he meets martyrdom, then his courage was not courage. It was not his courage. It was not the act of his courage, but it was his love for you, as he sacrificed his life for the sake of your love and affection. Here the poet says that the act of saving a fellow soldier's life is not the act of bravery, but it is the act of love and affection for fellow soldier. Dear students, in this class we have come across textual explanation of the first two stanzas of the poem. The first stanza deals with the childhood of a child, or this is the it covers the first phase of human life, that is childhood, and second stanza of the poem speaks about adulthood, or second phase of human life. In the next lecture we shall deal with stanza number 3 and 4 in the same poem, Courage. With this I would like to stop here. Rest of the things we shall continue in the next talk. Thank you very much.